Hi, my name is Corey Adney, and this is a short little video to introduce myself and my ministry to you. My ministry is Apostolically Unashamed, and in this ministry, I go by Preacher Corey D. Now, with my ministry, Apostolically Unashamed, I have the unashamed part down. I've had the unashamed part down since I was saved at the age of 14. What I am working on now is the apostolic part of that. Uh, as of right now, I am 26 years old. I am a senior with Life Pacific Bible College. The college is in San Dimas, California, but I take classes online. I live right here in Plymouth, Minnesota, actually, right on the border of Plymouth and New Hope. Grew up in the Twin Cities and heard about Life Pacific and took classes online through there because I didn't actually want to move all the way to California. So, aside from having a license and being ordained and working towards my degree in ministry and leadership, I have also been working on building this ministry, Apostolically Unashamed. One of the things that I know I have been called to do is, while I have a home church, the Table in Osseo, which I helped launch about 2 years ago, I'm called to not remain stationary. I'm called to go out, to go other places, and share certain things that God has put on my heart, things that I believe need to be shared. And what that's come down to is essentially 5 different sermons, 5 different talks um, that I've worked on. I've put a lot of time and effort into. I've shared multiple times. I've spoken at a couple churches here in the Twin Cities, and the whole point of this video is to hopefully expand on that. Hopefully, let some more people know that I'm here. I know what I'm doing, and this is something that's on my heart. I'm looking for more opportunities and ways to increase the apostolic part of my ministry. So the 5 sermons that I have, the 5 talks that I have, are these. The first one is called The Father's Love. Now, this one I have most commonly done as a Black Friday service. Not because it's necessarily depressing, I wouldn't say that, but it's quite serious. It's fairly somber. If you know of or have ever heard the song "How Deep the Father's Love for Us," it is a hauntingly beautiful song. And usually when I do this talk, I bring my sister, who's one of the worship leaders for the Table Church in Osseo, and a guitar player, and we kind of dissect that song verse by verse and go into exactly what the Father's love for us looks like and what it means. And it is, like I said, it is a very, very serious, very somber um, sermon. It is, uh, I can't, I don't, it's talking about God's love, so it's not, depressing. The message in and of itself is very good, but it is a more serious conversation. Like I said, the times when I have done it, it has been a Black Friday service, but it doesn't need to remain a Black Friday service. Another one is titled "God's Not Dead," kind of like the movie. This one is focused around the resurrection of Christ, so obviously it's one that I have usually done around Easter. Again, doesn't have to be an Easter sermon, but because it's talking about the resurrection of Christ and everything that means and signifies, it has made sense to do it around Easter, but would be more than happy to do it a time aside from that. Another is physical representations of spiritual actions. As humans, something that I believe helps us a lot is when we have something physical. People, for the most part, need something tangible. That's what makes Christianity and belief and faith so hard sometimes, is because we don't always get that physical thing. So the physical representations of spiritual actions is giving people something physical, something tangible, that signifies something that they're doing in their spirit, to make what they're doing in the spiritual life feel like they're really doing something here in their physical life, because sometimes there can be that disconnect. Another is simply failures. I know I'm only 26, but I've had some pretty decent failures in my life. I feel like God has put me in positions to experience a lot of different things, go through a lot of different things, so that I can be in a place to talk about a lot of different things. Um, so it's looking at failures. This story revolves around Jesus meeting the woman at the well and his conversation with her, and kind of her side, looking at her backstory and who she is, and the fact that Jesus still took the time to talk to this woman who, by anyone's account at that time, would have been seen as a failure. And one of the things that I really like to do, because a big part of my life has always been youth ministry. I've been in youth ministry for a really long time. This transition into giving sermons to a larger church has been more recent, over the past 4 or 5 years. But one of the things that I like to do with this particular sermon is at the end, call the children and young adults or teens forward, and have them face the rest of the congregation, all the adults and all the parents, and ask the adults of the service, who are part of the congregation, if you've ever failed, stand up. If you've ever failed, raise your hand, something like that. So all these young people see what should be every single person stand up, or every single arm go up, so that they know, hey, everyone you see before you has said something in their life that they failed at, and they're here, they got through it. Really kind of help build up the young people a little bit, and hopefully when they start struggling with something, know that they can come forward and talk to people about it. And the last big one that I like to do is called biblical interpretation, and that one's just specifically looking at what the Bible is. A lot of people own Bibles, but not quite as many people read them. So what I like to do with this one is take some time and talk about what the Bible is, kind of break it down. I share some fun facts about the Bible, and just kind of give a history of it, how it came together, things that sometimes as leaders we assume that the people might know, but in reality it's brand new information to a lot of people. When I've given this talk, people tell me that they never knew any of the things that I talked about, which used to surprise me, doesn't so much anymore. But it's looking at what the Bible is, how it came together, and giving some people some additional information, because it is something that comes under attack a lot. So if I'm able to give some people some information about how to defend the scriptures, then why wouldn't I want to do that? So these 5 talks, these 5 sermons, are ones, like I said, I've given a few different times, because I've worked on. I put a lot of time and effort into them, and while I wanted to keep this introductory video a little bit shorter, so I'm just giving a brief overview of what each of these are. If you have any interest at all in hearing more about what they are, or anything, really, please feel free to contact me back after seeing this. As I said, my name is Corey Edney. I go by Preacher Corey D. My ministry is Apostolically Unashamed. I'm unashamed, but I need some help getting the apostolic part down. So there be ever any opportunities for me to perhaps come in and be a guest speaker, or give one of these sermons, it would give me the opportunity to fulfill what I believe I'm supposed to be doing. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. God bless you, and I hope to hear from you.